Hey, y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and we're back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. And later on the show, comedian Gary G-Thang Johnson is joining us to close out Mental Health Awareness Month. You're in for a real treat, and we hope you get a lot of laughs out of this. Now, sit back, relax, get ready to sip on this hot tea we have for you this evening. We have a very great special show for you. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's up, Claudia? Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get to to Larry. And did you say who's
Gary.
joining us?
Gary and Gary.
Yes, Gary the comedian. But who's joining us tonight? Who
I'm
else
about
is
to tell
joining
you,
us?
our special guest host for the night is fan favorite T.S. Madison, who is filling in for Armand Wiggins as he turns up for his birthday. What's up,
Yes.
Madison?
Wait a minute, what Tia said? What she at? Oh, y'all talking about me? Oh my God. Claudia, listen, you know I miss you. You so
I miss you too.
stuff, honey, old gorgeous stuff over there. Eating that crab up like that. And
I was tearing that crab up before the show. I sure was.
Al, baby, you know we got a little thing. Baby, you
I
sit
know,
up
don't do it to me. Don't do it to me.
you over
Welcome
there giving me
back.
muscle right now. You all this scruff stuff going on.
I grew hair since you left.
I see. I want to run through the woods, but you just naked, just run and say, "Eat me, Mufasa." Eat.
Oh, wow. Well, we're not going to be eating on the show, but what are you drinking? What are you sipping on tonight, Maddie?
Girl, I got a little Tito's and a little, a little cranberry juice, a little one too.
Okay, a little one, too. All right, Al, you drinking?
Yes, definitely. I'm doing my originals Bailey's cream, but without the Cool Whip and the cherries. I'm just doing Bailey's by itself.
Okay, I'm drinking water right now because I was tearing up them crab legs. But on the commercial break, I'm gonna get me some of my little vodka and my Simply Lemonade. So we will be doing that. JW said Maddie Mob is in the chat and they are representing for you strong. You know, Maddie, every time you show up, they follow you wherever you go. So.
Listen, let me tell you something. This is my home over here. I slashed when y'all call me. I'm ready. I'm right here.
You know we love you over here, like nature. You know we.
You look like a butterfly with that top on.
Thank you, baby. You know I was a caterpillar once.
Definitely is a butterfly now, a beautiful one. All right, let's get to these topics. Nicki Minaj was forced to postpone her concert in Manchester, England, due to being detained at an Amsterdam airport for allegedly carrying marijuana in her luggage. Take a look.
They did just a random quick check, but now they want to open
Why?
it. And first of all, because you filmed him, and he was like,
Because I filmed him.
yeah, he was like, he doesn't believe me that you don't have more with you than you said.
All right, airport security allegedly found pre-rolls in her luggage, which Nicki claims belonged to her security. Do you think celebrities need to stop thinking they are above the law? And Matt, I'm gonna go to you first on this one. What do you think?
Well, y'all already know that Nicki Minaj is my good Judy. So, I'm not going to, but I will say this, being Black and also being outside of the country, you do have to abide by the rules. However, those pre-rolls belong to her security, and they said that they were, that was their pre-rolls. As far as me and mine, I'm not going to even tell you a lie, Claudia. When I go to LA, when I come out to LA, I usually buy those little pens, and I travel with those pens everywhere. So I've been outside of the country and I've had those little pens and little things in my purse, and I wasn't even thinking about it. But to see someone on the level of Nicki Minaj, get stopped and frisked and, told that they can't do that, I'm definitely going to now I'm going to be more careful than ever.
It is scary. I had those pens too. I got them in New York and I went to Aruba. It's like, but I made sure to exhaust all of them and not bring them back in because I got them out, but I don't want to I don't know. I just feel like there's certain things we just shouldn't be taking chances on anymore. And I don't understand going to Amsterdam where that's the weed capital. You're going to get a whole bunch over there anyways. You know what I mean? Al, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I definitely think that celebrities have to follow the law, because if not, you end up in a slammer the same way Nicki Minaj ended up. I think the interesting thing here is soft drugs are like cannabis and psychedelic mushrooms. And in her case, it's legal to have it and to travel with it as long as it's not more than 5 grams. And she actually had 30 to 100 grams, which put her way outside of the limits that were allowed in the country of the Netherlands, in the city of Amsterdam. But you know what I found so interesting about this whole thing is Nicki Minaj knows exactly what she's doing because she knew to go live with this particular arrest because she knew it was going to ignite her fans to like engage and to get involved. And that is exactly what they did. They showed up at the police precinct and for, you know, like pretty much protest until she was released. They showed up at her hotel to show her love. I have never seen this type of fan engagement or being able to reach out and connect to her fans and get this type of response since Michael Jackson. I just think it's one of the most fascinating things to witness in the 21st century.
Really?
But Al, I do think that in this day and time, as celebrities, even as regular people, when you come in encounter with the police, I think that it is imperative that you go live because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right, true.
We have some comments from the chat. Let's read them. Otto Norfleet said the bar was going to cause an insurrection in Amsterdam. And Janice McGee said she pissed off the cop and he was going to stick it to her. Jermaine Tart said enjoy your flowers and leave them there. Simply don't try to take SH with you. And Ansel D'Angelo said Brittany Griner should have been an example that we have to be cautious of being Black when we're traveling abroad. These people don't care who you are. I will say this in their defense. You know, you might think, and this may be ignorant or not, or whatever, you may think, well, I'm going to Amsterdam where it's like really liberal about that. I could understand how you would think that'd be okay, but there's always going to be someone in TSA that could try you, and that is not someone from Amsterdam. That is this TSA. That's a separate entity. All right, let's move on. Candace Owens caused some controversy with her recent tweet. She wrote, ban pornography. It is a psychological weapon intended to weaken our men. Cardi B responded, how? It actually should teach men how to please a woman. Someone else wrote, porn messes with motivation, impulse, discipline, feeling rewarded. It's the same brain impact as being on cocaine. All right, what's your take on this, Al? What do you think?
Well, you know, when she's right, she's right. Candace Owens has been making some sense lately. We've talked about that a couple of times here on the show. And, you know, I was really kind of shocked at Cardi B's response, too, because we know that research has been done by researchers like Cross and Wright, and that was as late as 2016, and they found that there is definitely a correlation between increased attitudes of violence against women and excessive porn use. And we've got to be more aware of this, and we've got to let the public know that. So, and the reason why we've seen it is because of the accessibility to porn, the easy ability to watch it and watch it on our phones now for extended periods. And that creates a lot of aggression, both sexually, physically, and mentally towards women. So we've got to be very careful as it relates to porn and talking about the effects that it have on women.
You know, I was talking to a married couple in Aruba that's very happily married, and I asked about like one of the keys to a successful marriage and sex life. Not successful marriage. I asked about sex life. And he said that he actually has he does watch porn and he learned a lot from it, and he doesn't find it, he's not obsessed with it. I think with everything is moderation. I think we're going down a slippery slope with all these, now you can't do this, now you can't say that. We're no longer the land of the free anymore. We are getting way too in the weeds with telling people what they can do in the privacy of their own home. It's banned. Pornhub is banned in Texas. And I think that is, these fake outraged folks are just doing way too much. I think it's overreach. Matt, how do you feel about porn? What do you think about it? Is there a healthy amount
Well, I'm in a bit of a conundrum on this. I think honestly that you have to do things in moderation. Of course, me coming from the adult entertainment industry and me being notorious or infamous for being a pioneer in an industry where it was dominated by Caucasian men, and I came through and I made a successful career out of it. For myself, but I also retired and moved on to other things. I think the consumption of it is questionable when it comes to certain stuff. I think that everything should be done like in moderation. Even when they were absorbing me, I was like, honey, you can only get so much of me, only a bit, and then put it down and come back and get it. We're taking in too much of me.
Then they want you more.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Now that I'm older, I understand that I have deprived myself from a real personal life because I've been involved in that in that secular lifestyle. And I also made lots of money from it. But in my personal life, I think I've lacked a lot of things in my personal life. If I had the chance to do it all over again, I'm questioning myself. Would I have done it, or would I have, went about it the same way? So I'm in a bit of a conundrum.
I think that's a good point, but also we have to understand that the variety of access to porn has changed. You have gangbang type porn that people really get into. You have rape culture porn that people really get into. You have, this bondage type porn that people really get into. It's not like just the regular porn that a lot of people use in order to stimulate, their sex lives or their marriages. We have very aggressive forms of porn that consuming it can lead to violent behavior. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about using porn to bring spice to your love life or bring spice to your marriage or just to learn different techniques to please your woman. I'm talking about those who are using it excessively, and especially watching those porns that portray women in a very submissive and volatile and sensitive way.
It makes sense. The point is that go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Claudia.
I was just gonna say it makes sense, but what the problem is when I say slippery slope is what's like over the top to you, right? Which can be very reasonable. Or what is like safe for you so someone else could say, oh my God, that's too much. And I just wonder, where does that stop? And are we going to get to a point where everything is so policed that there's nothing? I do agree. We don't need to have snuff films, all that kind of stuff. But we can find you a person that's going to be against even missionary style porn. There's just so many people that are I just feel like a slippery slope with our rights here. What were we going to say, Maddie?
I want to know what Al's OnlyFans is.
Hey, I got to work on that. You're right. I got so many jobs. That's about to be my next one. I promise. I got you.
Lord.
Give me 30 days.
Let's not forget, most popular category is teen. That tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, that's bad. And Mariah Nelson said, God set your path the way it was supposed to be, Maddie. That's right. And D-Ray said they shouldn't have strip clubs either because that's soft porn. See, now we're going down a slippery slope. Now we're going to go from that to magazines, and then it's going to be swimsuits. Then it's going to be nothing. Then we're going to be in sweaters all day long. Sandra Richardson said, I guess a broken clock can be right twice a day. I actually agree with Candace on this one. And Tisa Davis, fellow Texan, I'm mad they took my Pornhub away in Texas. I am too. All right. Our girl Vivica A. Fox shared that at the age of 60, she's finally looking for a husband and is taking boyfriend applications. She shared that she has no interest in dating apps and that she requires that he must be fun, loves to travel, not intimidated by who I am, and lets me spend money going shopping. Do you think women are slowly starting to shy away from the narrative that they need to rush to be married by a certain age? Al, let's go to you first on this one.
Oh, absolutely. You're a prime example of this, right? Like, you're like not in no, well, you would, if it happens, it happens, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. I think Vivica Fox, she's Fox Soul family to me. Vivica's beautiful, Vivica's talented, and Vivica is probably one of the hardest working women in Hollywood. But I got to be honest, this is going to be a hard feat, Miss Vivica A. Fox, because you are always on the road. You are always working. So you got to try to find you a little younger man to keep up with you with all these jobs you have. I literally never forget, last year, Vivica came to Sundance. She was in Atlanta directing, left Atlanta, came to Sundance, left Sundance, went to LA to do some press, left LA and went back to Atlanta to shoot something else. So Vivica, if you're looking to date, you might want to find you a little young person with a lot of energy, because woman, you keep the streets hot with all your hard work. And I do wish you the best of luck, because you deserve it more than anybody.
She definitely does like him a little younger. Not ridiculously younger, but she's okay. She's open, so I definitely know that. Madison, what do you think about this?
Well, Claudia, again, to piggyback off of my last thing, like I'm just now at a point in my life where I'm finding things out about myself. You think you have it all figured out in your 20s, then you get to your 30s, then you're in your 40s, and you're headed to your 50s. Vivica she's headed to 60 now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I do have to piggyback off of Al. I think that she should date younger. Like, she's rich, she has money, she's been like, girl, buy you a man. Buy a man.
How much do they cost now, though? What's the cost?
This is my thing, Claudia. I just bought over $1 million home, like 1 point something $1 million house. I have another house. I have property. I have this. when you start talking about dating men and at a certain time frame, a certain age, like you walk in the door and you're successful at this point in your life, it's just like, who's going to come in and match that? Because the men your age are looking for women that are 4 times younger than him.
Yeah.
Like that pastor over there, but that's another story. But who is looking for her at that age, at that success? Like they don't even really qualify to be in that space.
So do you have to date somebody equally as successful and make as much money as you or more in order for you to be in a relationship?
Where I am now, Al, no. Because I've when I was in the adult entertainment world, men were taking care of me. And when they were taking care of me, they were also taking care of others. So it was just like, this was some trick off stuff. Gotcha. Now that I'm on the other end, and I don't need a man to do anything for me. The man that's going to come into my life, this is the same way the man's going to come into Claudia's life, has to make her happy. She's financially successful. I'm financially successful. I own numerous properties, businesses, things. So a man that has and it's above me is usually either he thinks that I'm not girl, like he don't want me, or a man that's not on my level looking at me like, oh my God, like this girl got her things together. So like it's a bit of like this.
You know, a lot of my conversations with men and with other women is a lot of women think that they make themselves be the attractive option to men when they're financially successful. Most alpha men don't want a woman for their money. They want a woman to bring them peace. They want a woman that brings them love. They want a woman that could give them femininity and give them, the nurturing, right? So most men that we think we're impressing with that kind of stuff, they're like not really tripping on that anyways. So we're like attracted to other women. Other women are like, oh, she a boss, she doing her thing. But most men either are intimidated by it or they don't really care. They'd rather have the younger. They'll take the younger girl that's a waitress somewhere. Now, no disrespect to waitresses, but that doesn't have their career all the way on and popping for the most part. And I do see that. And I think women, I've been telling my friends, y'all be thinking, well, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. Why would he go with this girl over me? I'm like, if you listen to men, they don't usually say that they want that first, that their number one isn't a provider. Usually it's usually they want that other stuff. Vivica, do your thing. You've been.
Yeah. But Claudia, I want to piggyback off you and then we're going to go to the T's. It's control.
That part too. You're not going to control Vivica. You're not going to control Maddie. You're not going to control me. That's not going to happen. But we can be partners, but I think men don't believe it. I think they're not going to believe that. We have some comments. Joanne Edwina said, I love me some Vivica, and I think she should just try to get 50 back. He's just as busy as her. No, I don't think she should do that. RC said, when you don't have a man, she's probably filming with what time, with work. She can adjust. BBT says, age ain't nothing but a number. It's Vivica Fox, and she's a household name. And Christian Simmons said, my girl Vivica needs love too. She needs the right one to come along and spoil her rotten. I hope she gets what she wants. You know what, Vivica? We wish you the best. And listen, there's no shortages of men out there trying to, be in her life. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Coming up next, get ready to share some laughter with comedian Gary G-Thang Johnson. And later, is it ever too late to see companionship? We're going to revisit that. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF. When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
All right, welcome back to TGIF Soulmates. Mental Health Awareness Month is coming to an end, so we wanted to give you all a taste of some much-needed therapy. And by therapy, we got you some laugh therapy. Please welcome a man who's been in the business for a very long time, paying his dues, doing his thing, and a really funny guy. Please welcome comedian Gary G-Thang Johnson. What's up, Gary? How you doing?
What's up, Claudia? How you doing?
Man, we go way back, and I'm happy to see you still doing your thing. You haven't aged a bit either.
Hey, man, and this is what, well, I don't have no insurance to get nothing done. So, you know,
how long have you?
I couldn't afford it no way.
Gary,
you know, but
how long have you been doing stand-up comedy? Because I think I've known you for about 20 some years.
I've been doing it, it's going on about 27 years. Yeah, 27 years I've been paying bills with jokes. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I thought about getting a job when the pandemic hit. I thought about it, but I knew I couldn't pass none of the tests. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, Gary, we are really excited, for you to be here. And again, Mental Health Awareness Month. And we want to just bring a little laughter to the show. So we're excited for you to show us what you got. So let's get right into it with some laugh therapy.
It's a beautiful thing to be here, man. Claudia and all of y'all talking about relationships. I'm at an age right now, I hear Vivica and all of these people wanting somebody. I can't date no more. I'm going to be honest. I need to be in a relationship because I can't afford to date no more. I took a chick named Tasha. I took her to Nobu in Malibu. I knew right then this was going to be my last date because the ballet was $25. I told the ballet guy, don't get neither one of our dudes. You understand me? I'm going to park this in the free spot. You know what I'm saying? I told Tasha, I said, go on in there and get us a table. I need to holler at the waiter for a minute. I hollered at the waiter. I said, player, let me tell you how much I got. I got $136. That's to take care of you, the drink, and the tip. Can you make it happen? He said, sure, because you know how white guys are. Sure. He goes over to our table and take all the lighted menus off the table and handed me some laminates. I said, bro, this menu ain't even from this restaurant. This is a Denny's menu. You know what I'm saying? So I ordered me a Grand Slam. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I love you independent women. Y'all my peoples. I love y'all. But I want a chick to need me. I need a chick every now and then to ask me for $75. Just $75. Every now and then you come up to me and say, I know I don't want to bother you, but you got $75. $75, girl. Yeah, $75. Long as you ain't ask for $85. And I don't mean this out of no disrespect. I only date black women because I like to argue. I'm an arguer. You know, if you ain't doing this, me and you not equally yoked. I swear to you. Because it's hard to date black women sometimes. Because black women, they compliment you and they talk smack about you at the same time. I was dating this chick named Pam. She came over to the house. She said, this is a nice little one bedroom. I was like, what? I got another room upstairs. You don't know all the rooms I got. She said, oh, this is a nice little one bath. Like, I got another bath. I just found out that black women do not like white refrigerators. Did you know that? I had a white refrigerator. You ain't got no stainless steel. You ain't got no ice maker on that. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I had a white refrigerator that that one door, right? Refrigerator. You know, you seen that one door that opened up the freezer and the refrigerator at the same time? Yeah. She talking about you ain't got no ice maker. I'm still at an age. I'm still putting water in trays.
Oh God.
That tray, not the one that crack open. I'm talking about that metal one. Now I know my freezer. I said, hey, you got 2 hours for that ice get cold. You know, you better take a shot. Do you understand me? You don't tell me, Pam, go out there and check it and see is the ice cold yet. Now, let me tell y'all something funny. I know my freezer. I know it ain't cold yet, but I did it for her. I went out there and checked it. I done messed around and punched a hole in the ice. Now we got to start all over again.
Oh my God. Gary, thank you so much. You had Al. Look at Al. Al's mental health. Thank you so much. We needed the laughter, and we appreciate you so much. We have some comments for you. Miss Rita S. said, let them know, G-Thang. And Jewel Johnson said, Al's making me laugh. And they're all saying, thank you so much for you. Gary, now let's switch gears and talk about mental health awareness. At any point in your life, they say a lot of great comedians, they have a dark story. There's a lot of pain that you're usually hiding, making everybody else happy. First of all, is that true for you?
Not for me, because I know the Lord, you know.
Okay.
So with me knowing the Lord and knowing what goes with that kind of pain, you know, I know who to cry to, because I always know, you know, in the book of Job, God said, you know, when Job was complaining and the devil said, you should curse God and die. And God asked Job, where were you at when I built heaven and earth? So what I say that to say this, if Job can lose everything and the little $40 I got in my bank account, I can get over it. You understand me? I can make it back. So I deal with mental people that go to mental illness a lot different, because I got a lot of friends that been depressed and they be like, this is it. And I'm like, man, this ain't it, because as God wake you up in the morning, you can continue your dreams.
How?
So,
Has mental health, has comedy helped? So it's the Lord, not really the comedy helping your mental health, or is it a combination of both?
It's the Lord has gifted me with this comedy to give laughter to the people. It's the Lord that made me be able to be funny on the spot. It's the Lord that made me be able to make all this money that I make telling jokes and traveling all over the world. It's the Lord to give me the energy, because sometimes people come to shows, they're not prepared to laugh.
Yeah.
So that particular part, I am mentally prepared for. And it comes from, I guess it comes from all the time I've been doing comedy, all the things and experiences that I went through. So I got an experience for everything that I've been to. But I got a lot of friends that's dealing with mental illness. And I try to tell them, hey, bro, it ain't all that bad, because you are being selfish to others. If you take yourself out this world, you got a mama, daddy, you got friends that want you. You got friends that's counting on you. I got a lot of friends that's counting on me. So, I got to slang these jokes at all costs.
Right. Well, speaking of slanging jokes at all costs, and I do emphasize the word costs.
Come on.
I'd like to know, Gary, what do you enjoy the most about being a part of the comedy world?
Being a part of the comedy world, we are a bond. I know sometimes it don't seem like it, but we are a bond, even though we get mad at each other and it's like, but when something happened to one of us, we are all there for them. Look at what happened to Sinbad. He had a stroke. We all came to his aid. We raised money for him because he wasn't able to go on the road. And that happens for all of us as anything happens. Or if anybody needs a job, we try to see, because I had comments call me, G, can I open up for you? Can I go on the road for you? And I try to do my due diligence to try to help them, because we got to help each other more. We don't do like the Seinfelds and Larry Davids and all them. We kind of like, I got it. Now, how you going to figure it out? And that's not good. You know, a guy told me if I close my hand, nothing can get in, but also nothing can get out. So you got to open and share it and be open and honest with it. I'm at an age right now, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I'm putting on house shoes when I get out the bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm at that.
Since you helping comedians, honey, why don't you help your comedian friend Corey Holcomb get a bra and some Spanx?
Oh, wow.
T.S. Madison. Gary, I got a question for you.
He my Midwest swing cat.
Well, tell him T.S. Madison said hi.
Oh, my God.
Gary, obviously, I could listen to you for hours. You crack me up. But let's talk about your upcoming special. It drops in just a couple of days. I want the soulmates to join me now in checking out the trailer.
Y'all ready? Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, very talented, Gary G-Thang Johnson!
I'm gonna tell you, black women, ain't number 3 good men don't ever walk this earth. That's me, Barack, and Jesus. That's it.
I just let that money
I don't even take my clothes off until I get fully in the bed. I ain't got no light on type of body. I got a candlelit type of body. This little chick said, you wanna go another round? I mean, right now, you wanna go again? I can pencil you in for Thursday. We gotta start all over again. Women, if you date a man, he in his 50s, and he ain't got no checking account, you should sit your ass down.
Okay, Gary, you gotta tell us, how did this special come about, or is it a tour? Tell us, how did it come about?
The Sit Your Ass Down is when I was hosting the Millennial Tour, the 90s Block Party, and I created this thing when I would go out in the audience and I would ask people to sing, and they couldn't sing, and they was trying so hard, and I was like, sit your ass down, and it just caught on, and I said, that's what I'm gonna name my special, and we pitched it to All Black, my boy Brad and Nicki. They heard my pitch, they wanted me to make it glamorous, LA celebrities, marquee, pulling up in the car. You know, I'm one of the first comedians to pull up in the car. Rappers have done it, but no comedians. So they gave me a great budget for it, and we wanted to make it happen. This is their first original content on All Black, and they excited about it. I'm excited about what we did with it. And hey, man, I'm hoping that, you know, we can do many more of those. I really want All Black to catch on like the Netflix and all of that. And I know a lot of people want to know where All Black is. It's a simple app. It's on Prime. You can find it on Prime. You can find it on a smart TV. And like average Black people, if you want to use your 7-day free trial, and when it's over, you know, go ahead and cancel it like average Black people do, because I done did it 1,000 times. I just want to watch somebody that got that 7-day free trial, and when they say your day up, I like, well, cut it off. And but follow it, man. It's a beautiful thing, All Black, and I'll be the first dark-skinned cat, because I'm at the last level of darkness. You know,
yeah. Shout out to All Black for the platform that they give to Black artists. I definitely appreciate that. They're definitely growing and doing their thing. I'm gonna read a couple comments, give you some of your flowers here. Tam B. Dan said, yes, come on, God brings a peace that surpasses all understanding. And Marvin DeMartian said, I want to see more of his stuff. And Christina Sanders says Gary needs to be on once a week. Yes. And Jeff Bobby said, definitely have to check out the special. This comedian has always been hilarious. So I wanted to just give you your flowers. I think we need to do more of that, especially in these days. Gary, now, you know, we're on TGIF. So, you know, sometimes we get a little messy. You're no stranger to that. We've definitely done some things.
Yeah.
Earlier in the show, we talked about how Vivica A. Fox is accepting boyfriend applications. And we know she's hosting your upcoming comedy special. Gary, are you gonna hook our girl up with a potential husband? And who would you link up with? Who would you think would be a good match for Miss Vivica?
Well, you know, Vivica, people don't know this, but Vivica like hood guys. You know, people don't know Vivica like a cat to carry a pistol. So, you know, me being kind of a hood cat, but so Vivica is so fly, so classy, but hey, she from Indianapolis, so she like a little hood. And I got plenty of hood cats that I want to hook Vivica up with, but I don't know if they're gonna like it, because they might take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
We don't want that.
Vivica got all this money. They'll be living in, playing PlayStation, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna pass on hooking my girl up, on hooking Vivica up. But Vivica ain't gonna have no problem finding somebody, because Vivica is a giver too. She a cheerful giver. You know, she'll buy I seen her buy some Timberlands for a dude before. You know, I was with her. Jordans, you know.
She living good over there. Vivica got that long bread for many years in the business. Anyway.
And she's such a nice lady. I did a play with Vivica back in the day. The play, we was going through a recession. The play was getting ready to shut down. Vivica took a pay cut to give us some of her money to keep the play going. This woman, Vivica A. Fox, been my homie for years. So whatever she need, you know, hey, I got a back. And it's biblical. You looking, call your boy. I got 3 Tauruses that'll hook you up.
You know what? We're going to send this clip to Vivica and see if we can make something happen here. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming through, bringing us some laughs. This is something different we tried on the show, and we appreciate you being the first. And thank you so much. And it's good to see you.
Man, good to see y'all. Tthank y'all all for having me, man. I appreciate
thank you. Thank you for the laughs.
Garrett, don't forget to tell Corey what I said.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You know what?
Speaking of telling Corey what I said, Roosevelt down there in the comment section, you told me to take the bass out of my voice. How else would your daddy recognize me when I'm calling him for his
Coming up. Get T.S. Madison on the tour. Exactly. Coming up next, Northwest faces backlash after her Lion King debut, and later find out what we would do in crazy situations. We'll be right back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to the show. Shout out to Garrett G-Thang Johnson for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. All right, y'all, fans were not pleased with Northwest's performance as young Simba in The Lion King live to film concert in Los Angeles. People felt that North should not have been chosen for the role and speculated that North likely did not audition and bypass children who were actually a part of the theater world. Do you think nepotism is harmful in this case? Al, I'm going to you first. What do you think?
In this case, I could see the argument of it being harmful, but I'm sure the theater has always dealt with getting people out and getting the seats filled. They know by associating with Northwest, those seats were going to get filled, but in doing that, they had to overlook those who could sing, obviously, a lot better. Theater kids can sing. And obviously, North is not a theater kid, So this is a trade-off. Either you want the seats filled with all the publicity, or you want the talent to match the show. All right? In this particular case, the talent didn't quite match the show.
And the talent was acting like her daddy because North wore her own rendition of the young Simba costume rather than the costume that was initially planned for the production. Kind of young to be doing all of that. Maddie, what do you think about this?
What's she there for?
Her last name West.
That's the only. What's she there for? You get just what you get.
Right.
And that's the way I feel. You get just what you get. Y'all roll them Kardashians in there. You roll them Wests in there. You roll them folks up in there, honey. Give her a supporting role. Give a lead role to somebody else and give her a supporting role to fill the seats. Hell, I can't sing and dance on everything, and I just feel like that, I don't supposed to have every damn job. And girl, it's the same way I feel like with Billy Porter. Like, girl, why you Cinderella? Why are you Cinderfella? Why are you everybody? Like, let Titus Burgess or something, let other folks come in and do the thing. And it's no shade to them. Let them be supporting roles. They gonna fill the seats. And then she wore her own costume. Child, I'm so sick of them. And Roosevelt, your time is up, boo. Roosevelt and NY, both of y'all time is up. You don't want none of this. I guarantee you don't want none of this cigarette smoking voice. You don't want none of this on you.
Oh my God. Soulmates, be nice. Madison is a favorite and doing us a huge favor by even being here. So we are blessed to have her. So y'all relax. Sandra Richardson said the seats would have been filled regardless. It's the Lion King after all. Tasha Hartwog said, yes, it's sad they counted out all the talented kids, but at the same time, don't come at North, who's a kid. That part said, maybe so, but she's still a kid. It's not her fault. She has Kim and Kanye as parents. I'm going to say this. I think Black people should actually engage in nepotism a little bit more to help each other out. I'm okay with that. But the lead role is too big of a role to do that for. You do that with a supporting role. You do that with a special guest appearance by. You do it by a feature role. You don't put the weight of a huge production like this on someone that's not as talented as some of the other girls. Now, there's an argument, of course, North can become that. But if she's not there now, and there's other kids who've been training that live theater, I think that's wrong. And someone said about, let me see, we have a few comments here. Let's see. Oh, Tanya Christopher said North was trying, but the little Harris girl would have killed that part. And I agree with that. And Nola Girl said North was not chosen. North parents paid. And Lamarius Jones said nepotism at its best. Again, give her a chance to audition like everybody else, but don't just let the name just get you in there just because. Unless, are y'all dying to see North in theater? Are y'all?
No. And I don't want to see her mama nowhere else either.
Daphne said, I saw a little boy's audition and he definitely was robbed. North can't sing and look lost on stage. Sizzle Nation said people didn't pay to see her. She was a surprise guest. Give them people a refund. And didn't it start early on with North? And I'm not trying to go in on Little Girl, but I'm just trying to make a very honest assessment of this. I remember it was like, oh, North made this song. Oh, it's so great. Let's give her a great, we can't just exaggerate just because of the name. We got to just judge things on its merit and on its talent and not just because of the parent. I think that's kind of wrong to the next. But all right, we got to move on. Actor Dylan Minnette revealed that he quit acting because it started to feel like just a job. Have you ever lost passion for something you initially loved, and how did you handle it? Maddie, let's go to you first.
Yes, I did. I lost passion for the Queen Supreme Court when I used to do that. Mm-hmm. I used to do the Queen Supreme Court show live, and I lost passion for it because I started to see everybody taking tidbit pieces and stuff and doing their own renditions, which was fine. But then I was like, I want to do something else. I'm a Libra. You have to give me something else. I get bored easily.
Got you. Okay. Al, what about you?
Well, this is interesting. There's parts of the conversation that I could connect with, and then there are parts that I didn't connect with so much. First, I connect with it being very hard to keep a job going or keep a career going that you're not passionate about. I totally get it. And especially for creatives, you kind of need that connection to your passion in order to wake up and do the job every day. However, the part that I don't connect to is if you don't get a job with your passion, then you got to compromise because you got to feed your family or you got to feed yourself. So you got to do something that may be passion adjacent in order to provide for yourself. And that's the part that I usually have the most conflict with is people that say, oh, I can't do it because that's not my passion. Well, you need to do it to pay your bills because your credit score is horrible and you're living at your grandmother's house. So figure it out. Passion can come later. And for me, at this age, I'm going to tell you, because I've been through it all. I've been up, I've been down, I've been homeless, I've been jobless, I've had jobs. The reason why I keep tons of jobs is because my new passion now is getting a paycheck. My new passion now is having health insurance. That's my new passion. I take that money that I get from that and I feed my other passions. So for me, there's two sides to the coin. But if you're going to wait on just passion, then you definitely need to be waiting on it at your grandma's house.
Oh,
I think passion is kind of almost like being in love. And that the butterflies that you get in the beginning, it's amazing. And we spend our time chasing that, but it's not realistic to maintain that for the rest of your life. And that's okay. I think a nice balance is, okay, I don't really feel as passionate about it, but but I still enjoy it, and it helps my lifestyle. Yeah, I've definitely been there where I wasn't as into something before, and I went through phases and had to power through because I have a healthy balance of wanting to make my money and be financially secure, but also liking what I do. And if I'm not totally happy with where I'm at in my job or show, I will just get another one. I'll get another one. I'll do another one on the side, and I can get it there, or just do other things that make me happy. But yeah, it's definitely balance is the perfect way. If you can get a job where you feel like it's really not work, then you're gonna feel like very fulfilled. I think Shaw Copeland said, "Money's my passion. If it pays well, I'm passionate." And Hi J advice says, "Passion never dies. It transforms and changes." All right. Well, thanks for that. Your insights, y'all too, on that conversation. Keep it locked, because coming up next, find out what we would do in crazy situations. And later, find out how a hairstylist handles not being tipped. Oh, Lord. I know it's going to be a mess. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, "I love Ish on my screen. Is he single? Asking for a friend."
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, "I want him. He's got to come home with me." Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to the show. Soulmates, have you ever thought about how you would handle yourselves if you were placed in the middle of an unexpected situation? Well, we'd like for y'all to chime in the chat with a fun little thing we like to do, hashtag WWYD. What would you do? All right, y'all, another group of people got rained on inside a restaurant in Nashville. Check out this clip.
I know. Oh my God. I am weak. We're gonna have to leave.
Oh my God, can you imagine if this happened during your dinner? What you gonna do, Al?
Walk straight up to the hostess stand and get my credit of about $500 so that I can use it when I come back. Because you can't turn off the sprinklers. Only a fire marshal or a safety director can turn off those sprinklers. So your whole day is ruined. So they got to compensate me for that.
A mess. Oh, Maddie, what would you do? Imagine you wake up here.
Baby, I ain't paying for nothing. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna turn my live on and go live, and the Maddie mob gonna call in there and tear them people down. You can't have the queen up there getting rained on like that and think that I'm gonna pay for my meal. No, none of that.
Oh yeah, that's the least they can do. A meal and some credits and some they got to do something about that. Debbie Bryan said, "Oh my God, new term for drinks on us." Okay. Lamar Odom sat down in the salon chair and got much more than a haircut when a woman began giving him a lap dance. Now, if your man went to get a haircut and you found out he was getting a twerk show, What would you do, Maddie?
Girl, that's Lamar Odom. Girl, that's Lamar Odom. Have you ever heard what Joe Clark say? You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? That is Lamar Odom. Why is you over there bent over, turned up like that, girl? Y'all girls don't have no no class, or nothing. That's not the man that you be bent over in the nail shop twerking over, girl. No, ma'am. But if my man was out there doing it, he wouldn't be my man no more. But that's Lamar Odom, girl. Bye.
Okay, what do you think? What would you do?
See, I'm the opposite of Maddie on this one. I really like Lamar Odom, and it's so interesting to me that everybody is so interested in his life to the point where him whoever the barbershop owners are putting this clip out went viral. I think it didn't go viral just because somebody was twerking on a woman. Was twerking on a man. It went viral because it was Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom, people are still very interested in this dude. And this is a case for what would I do? I would go to that barbershop. I would follow the virality. I would go to that barbershop and see what's really going on.
Lean on me.
I'm not uptight when it comes to strippers and all that. If my man wants to go have a girl twerk, whatever, in front of me, I don't feel threatened or bothered by that. I actually think it's funny. I actually think twerking is so played. I think it's like kind of embarrassing now. I'm like, why are we still doing this? I'm so sick of twerking. I'm over twerking. I think it's ghetto. I think it's low end. I think it's people's response to everything. They be like, twerk. That's your response to everything, a twerk? Y'all been twerking for 11 years now. Are you not tired? It's not even interesting anymore. Like, he's uninterested. He's looking at his phone. He's not even into it like that anymore.
Claudia, you know how to twerk?
Only when I'm having sex. I can twerk on that D, but I can't twerk in the air. That's where I can really twerk. I'd be like, I can do it. I'm making it clap, but not in real life.
Why is you down there? Why is you down there to the barbershop doing that? Girl, those panties are stained. Girl, no.
You know, Maddie, that quite a few barbershops have this. This is trended all over TikTok and all over Instagram. Quite a few barbershops are doing this now to increase their, customer base.
Go to Hooters.
Joanne Edwina said there's a time and place, everything, and the barbershop ain't it. And Jermaine Lindsay said, that's on your man to set the young lady straight out of respect for your significant other. And okay, we got to move on. Thank you so much. Coming up, a hairstylist did not take kindly to not being tipped. Stay tuned.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to the show. A mother in Indiana claims a woman who braided her 6-year-old daughter's hair attempted to attack them after not being tipped. Do you think this response was warranted just because the mother didn't tip? Real quick, a note. The mother says she did not tip because the service lasted 10 hours when it normally takes between 3 to 4 hours, so she was not having it. The mother claimed the stylist and her friends surrounded her and her child with guns and cut the braids out of the child's head. Al, what do you think?
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I promise you that hairdresser would have been locked up if it was me. I would have called the police. I would have charged her with assault because you're not allowed to touch. You're not allowed as a hairdresser to cut the hair out after you have done it unless the client asks you. There would have been a car insurance claim because she ripped the doorknob off. And then I also would have gone to the cosmetology board because unless you're in California or Texas, you got to have a license to put braids in. And I would have showed them this viral clip along with a police report to have her license taken for her. That type of service, that type of rudeness, that type of assault, no, she wouldn't have been able to do business for a while after I left that shop.
Oh, yes.
PRT Diva said, please normalize not expecting a tip. Tips are optional. If you need guaranteed money, you need to find another job. Signed, a former server. Maddie, what do you think?
Listen, Claudia, they were paid. Like, you're doing all this over a tip?
Right.
And this is a child. Like Al said, I would have went down there to the book. Listen, Al doing his white woman thing. I'd have did my white woman thing too. Oh my God, oh my God. And I would have took this viral video down there, terrorized them. They wouldn't have been braiding nobody's hair on this side of the equator ever again. I promise you that.
No, that's right.
Over a tip?
Right.
It like the tip is a percentage of the bigger fee for the service. And now you just ensured you'll never get tipped again. Now we're talking about you on TGIF. Now you think future customers are going to go to you or even want to deal with you anymore? Like, I think this is super whack. All right. Well, someone who was having no problem finding a man is Sexy Red. The rapper shared that men go crazy over her and that her fame makes men willing to do anything she asks, even suck her toes and perform oral sex while she is on her period. Has fame ever made you go crazy for someone? Al, I'm gonna go to you first.
No. Not to that level. Not to that level. Nope. That was disgusting. That's a disgusting conversation. But then again, I got to admit, I'm not her demographic and I'm not her target audience. And her provocativeness, it's not in my age group or in my income bracket, unfortunately. So obviously, a lot of people like her. Obviously, she relates to a lot of people, and obviously, she's super famous now and doing very well. So I'm just going to be quiet over here, and I'm going to pass it to Maddie.
Maddie?
I mean, quiet as it's kept. I'm a girl that's been propositioned a time or two for many things. I've been famous for being me for a very, very long time. So I completely understand what Sexy Red is talking about. I mean, she's in a niche market, and there are men that like this what she gives, because there are men that like what I give. And there are people who even in the chat don't understand that, honey, I've lived good for the majority of my life. Ceiling to floor windows, darling, while those girls were over there in their apartments, honey, and men were handling that. And I have titties at the top and ding-a-ling at the bottom. So nothing is impossible, sweetie. And I'm fat, gorgeous. Get into this mug.
When you first hear it, you're like, ew, that's so gross. She's so nasty. Again, I'm with you, Al, saying, well, we're not in her demographic. We're not our target audience. But there are a lot of men and women that will do anything for fame. They will literally do anything for fame. Just give me a taste. Just give me a minute. Just let me do this. Let me just do that. Let me lick this. Let me suck that. And that's even for people that are not even famous. Being the popular girl in high school, being being on the track team, being the football player, like, you don't even have to be famous. People like what other people find attractive, and they will do a lot behind closed doors. And going down on a period, I've heard that before with people that are not celebrities. There's people that are just out there. People are just nasty, man, too. That's true. That's also wicked. People just will do anything now and love to get on the internet and talk about it. Anyways, I want to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and T.S. Madison, for joining me tonight.
Maddie!
Listen, I always love being here. This is my this is my fourth home.
Oh, yes.
Because I do especially food.
Special guest of Gary G-Thang Johnson. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Fox Soul's Facebook. Maddie, thank you so much. We love you.
I love you.